Commentary for Lesson 23 in the Workbook for A Course in Miracles. Remember to read the lesson yourself first before taking a look at the commentary. Lesson 23, I can escape from the world I see by giving up my attack thoughts. The idea for today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. As I mentioned yesterday at the beginning of the text, and as we're doing the workbook, we want to think along the lines the text sets forth. Is the atonement or miracles, salvation, one of its purposes is to reduce our level of fear, and that for the atonement or miracles to be valuable has to come to us in a form that we can understand. And so, even though, as in this lesson, ultimately, or the only thing we need to do is change our minds, that the Course doesn't expect us to start with absolutism on that we start in specific contexts, and from those specific contexts, then we'll learn to generalize it till finally uh, the change of mind is all that it's all that's required. So, so as I mentioned, the atonement has to come and meet all of our needs, and if we're expected to just you know uh, if we're expected just uh, to have to be expected to just change our minds and not have some change in the world that meets our needs, that would just increase our fear. So the atonement miracles have to come in a form, a help for us to meet all of our needs. So that's really important. Um, so it's the only way out of fear. Nothing else will work. Everything else is meaningless, but this can't fail. And every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It's with your thoughts then we must work if your perception of the world is to be changed. So the idea is that if our point of our prayers and our wanting is to want some arrangement in the world to be different, so we're okay, um, unless we change our minds, those changes, even if we get them, won't help because the fear remains. And it's the fear that blocks us from who we really are. So that's why the Course doesn't teach at a level of behavior. It teaches at this level of change of mind. And as I've often said in class, the holy instant is one where when we're in stress, when we're in conflict, is to stop for a moment, letting go of what we thought in the past was valuable and wanting that to be repeated in the future. We solve the problem internally by accepting a miracle, and that's a change of mind. So that's key here. So it's with the thoughts we want to work with first. Um, so if the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, it's these you got to learn you don't want. No point in lamenting your circumstances as long as you're holding on to these thoughts. There's no point in trying to change the world. It's incapable of change because it's merely an effect. But we want to change our thoughts, and then the world itself will change automatically. The circumstances will be there. Our needs on every level will get met. Um, so the world you see is a vengeful world. Everything in it is a symbol of vengeance. Now we have to remember that attack thoughts ultimately are, as we mentioned in class last week, is this attack on our true self of love and changing it into an ego. And so at this point, the ego's role for the mind is to figure out what can change other than the mind, so it's okay. So the symbol of vengeance, sort of dramatic language, relates to the fact that the real first attack thought is ours of changing our true self. And um, so that's the world that we then see, from a world that seems to be there because it's a projection of our attack thoughts. It's a perceptions of external reality, pictorial representation of our own attack thoughts. So we, cast aspersions on, is this seeing? Isn't it a hallucination? I'm seeing what's not there, In the end, I'm just seeing my thoughts. So you see the world you made, but you don't see yourself as its maker. You can't be saved from the world, but you can escape from its cause. Uh, this is what salvation means. For where is the world when you see its cause is gone? Vision already holds a replacement for everything you think now. And so then what he's talking about here is that the miracle or accepting the atonement doesn't then just hurl us back to reality. We move from wrong mindedness to right mindedness, or from the world we see now to what the Course calls the real world, which is this world of loveliness. It's the same world that we're seeing now and all of that, but it's a world where our vision from accepting a miracle, from changing our mind, letting go of our attack thoughts, shows us a world of love, where there's only loving thoughts or calls for love that are answered. So loveliness can light your images, so transform them, you'll love them, even though our um, original source of the world is our attack thoughts, our changing of who we are. For you'll not be making them alone. Now that's key, because when we were talking about neutral thoughts, our problem is our private world, our private thoughts, but there's the thoughts we share with the Holy Spirit, the thoughts we share with the true self, with God, and those are shared thoughts. Okay, so the idea for today introduces the thought that you're not trapped in the world you're seeing, because its cause can change. And this paragraph is what is called, what I've called and others, the Course 3-step. So this change requires first that the cause be identified. Okay, the world that I'm perceiving is a function of the attack thoughts in my mind. First step, you have to change that cause in there. It's not the world producing my thoughts, it's my thoughts producing the world. And then secondly, let it go so they can be replaced. The first two steps in this process require your cooperation, and the final does not. So this is, your images have already been replaced. By taking the first steps, you'll see that this is so. So this is the idea of the holy instant, of the nowness of the miracle, of the solution for us now, that the changed mind is already there. The thoughts in the mind that have already been, it's already been changed. So that vision is there, the miracles are already there, but we have to let go of these egoic attack thoughts. Identify that that's the problem, is the attack thoughts in my mind. Be willing to let them go, and then in that moment, right then, that's when the holy instant is there. So they'll be replaced. So besides using it throughout the day as the need arises, that's what we've been talking about, the practice on the fly as situations comes up, and then the more formal one where 5 practice periods are required. So as you look around you, first repeat the idea slowly to yourself, then close your eyes, and we're doing our mind searching for as many attack thoughts as can occur to us. So again, attack thoughts, there's this original attack thought of changing our true self from love, and now the forms of them are sadness, depression, envy, jealousy, fear. All of those are really attack thoughts, because they're thoughts about who we think we are. We're not this pure, true self of love created. We're this other thing. So those are all attack thoughts. So as each one crosses your mind, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. Hold each attack thought in the mind as you say this, and then dismiss the thought and go on to the next. And so this last paragraph is saying, have both thoughts that of our attack on the world, or ourselves being attacked by the world. And it's saying it's both the same, and that ultimately we'll learn that. So let me go back up to the top here and just clarify what I've been trying to say about this changing our mind and getting all of our needs met, so we reduce fear. Is that, just so it's not confusing, we do just need to change our minds, but that change of mind, which opens us up to the miracle, has to be one in which that all of our needs are met. So And that's so it reduces this fear inside of us because we can't learn in a state of fear. So the atonement, accepting the atonement and miracles means that our change of mind, which is all we really need to do, means that all of our needs will be met on every level. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.